Hello, and welcome to My Streaming Bubble, the podcast where I talk about the streamable media I love with the people I tolerate. I'm your TV watching and talking host, Jen, and today I'm excited to welcome back Bex, half of the now retired podcast Big Reputations, but also part of the Coach Beard's Book Club podcast. And also joining us today is Meg, one half of the now retired Bedwetter Behead podcast. All those podcasts are still available. Go listen. You should go do that because they're a hoot. But we're together. We're here in the stands. We're slapping sticks, sliding pucks, and getting hot and heavy with the players of Heated Rivalry. So, hello, ladies, and welcome. Been a while.
Hello.
Hello.
Sorry. I had to write something down. I realized I was recording before anyone started talking. I'm like, I better write down the timestamp for when I talk so you don't have to listen to just bullshit.
No worries. I've kind of gotten pretty good with getting the tracks synced and whatnot, but I appreciate
Very
that.
nice.
Well, and since you might have to use just the Zoom on them, they'll already be lined up. Sorry.
It happens. No worries. I was having all sorts of technical issues like the other week, and so I'm very much like, is everything sounding okay? Do I sound okay? So, I get it.
But if anyone had watched the It's a Phantom Thing pod's marathon streaming, Bedwetter Behead did come out of retirement for one special 30 minutes, which wound up being closer to 45 minutes because that's how we roll. Mm-hmm. Playing with the guys of Heated Rivalry. So I'm ready.
That's right.
Nice.
And that's still up on It's a Fandom Things YouTube channel. So you can always go back and watch all of that because that's always fun.
All
Especially
12 hours.
All 12 hours. Especially that last couple of hours when Aaron starts losing it. But yeah, so today we are talking about the HBO series, Crave series, Heated Rivalry. This is based on the books written by Rachel Reed, so there will be some book spoilers, but because Meg's read them, Bex is currently reading them. She's got 2 books left. I'm probably not going to read them, so I'm good with whatever. But just so you guys know, there will be book spoilers up until, I don't know how many there are, so just not those last 2.
The 7th one is currently being written. It's supposed to be out in June of 27.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that would make sense. Okay. So, all right. Well, we'll go ahead and get started. So consider this your official spoiler warning. So if you haven't watched the show, pause the pod, watch the thing, and then come back.
It's only 6 eps.
Yeah, it's only 6 episodes. It's only 6 hours of your life, so you're fine.
It will consume your soul. But
I was going to say, it's only 6 hours if you have no soul and only watch it once. But if you watch it repeatedly like I have, it's definitely consume more than 6 hours.
Definitely reheated many, many times. I'm a very normal person.
Very normal, yes. We should guess how many times Meg's watched it. No. 8.
I mean, you could take a guess. 8?
Yeah. Okay, I was being quite conservative.
It's only 6 episodes. Are you kidding? There was a time I watched it every day.
I believe it.
Nice. Nice.
So,
I'll think about
it was
that.
one of those, I was like, oh, I've watched this a few times. I'll put it on the background while I'm doing a thing.
Can't do it.
You can't do that because you have to be watching this show. There's so much stuff that happens on the screen that if you're just listening, it doesn't make sense.
No.
Yeah, it's definitely not one for dual screen situation, which I personally really appreciate. I'm getting really tired of what feels like really dumb TV.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That keeps repeating it because they're like, well, you maybe didn't catch it because you're on your phone doing other stuff. So I was pretty excited.
Yeah.
All right, so let's go ahead and do all the IMDb stuff. I felt like I said that weird. IMDb stuff, content warnings for homophobia, hockey players, Russians.
Trigger warnings for Russians.
For Russians. Oh my God.
Except for Ilya, he's fine.
And suicide.
And suicide, yep. All right, and what IMDb says. 2 rival hockey stars at the top of their game face an unexpected challenge when they develop feelings for each other, complicating their careers and the sport's expectations. And what I says about this show, I says, God damn, Glenn. And that is a Letterkenny reference. Because the show is written and directed by Jacob Tierney, who plays Glenn on Letterkenny. And then he does announcer, can't remember what his character's name on, but on Shoresy as well.
Mm-hmm.
So
he's also in this show. You just never see his face.
Yep. And the show stars... Oh, and another... the series was also co-written by Michael Goldbach. And it stars Hudson Williams as Shane, Connor Story as Ilya, Francois Arnaud. Arnaud, thank you. I did actually 100% rely on you guys to get that right for me.
Francois?
I don't know why I thought it was a quoi. I'm whatever.
As someone who has a French last name that we don't say French, like my last name is Salois, but everyone's like Salois. I'm like, all right, yep, Francois. We got it.
Francois.
Yeah.
Yep.
My maiden name was used to be French, and then they changed it to sound less French, and now everyone thinks I'm Italian.
My maiden name was German, and now my married name is Welsh. And so my full name is about the whitest name you can have. Jennifer Owens. Welsh and Welsh.
Love it.
All right. Let's see. Who else does this star? Ksenia Daniela Karlmova as Svetlana, and Robbie GK as Kip, and many, many more. And it's currently streamable on HBO, Crave, if you're in Canada and have Crave, I'm sure. Currently not available on DVD. So, and I'm not sure if Crave does digital or physical release. I don't think so.
I'll be buying it as soon as possible.
Because I was going to say, right? I feel like I would have owned the Letterkenny box set by now.
The downside to the streaming, right? It's like, I want to have it on physical media, and half the time they don't even bother.
There are a lot of, I know that there's a lot of people in the fandom that are like really kind of pushing for it, and they got the Canadian Olympic fleece made, so we'll see. But it also won a Peabody, so
hey,
yay! Pretty. It's not just porn, guys.
It really is not.
It's not porn really at all. No. It's nowhere near more. It's not as nowhere near, no more graphic than Bridgerton, I would say.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah. So
you see lots of butts.
Lots of butts. I was doing a dude butt count, butts. And then I lost count, and I was like, it's fine. There's lots of dude butt. It's all right.
Lots of glorious butts.
The best butts. So, all right, let's go ahead and get started. So, Bex, what are your general thoughts on the series? And I would like to point out, first and foremost, that Bex suggested the show before Meg, which is... There goes my mind. So
I think Meg was still probably lost in the rewatch cycle, that she hadn't even come out of it enough to suggest the episode.
I also, part of me was like, God, I asked Jen to watch so many shows and she doesn't. So
that's
maybe
fair.
If somebody else asks, it'll happen, because I feel like this is like an oversaturation of Meg begging Jen to watch TV shows that she likes, that I feel like this would just go on the pile of one more.
I think the only reason I asked, I was like, Jen, there's only 6 episodes. We could do this. It's not like I'm asking you to watch, Supernatural or something. Or One Piece. I'm getting close, by the way.
Let's do Grey's Anatomy.
Grey's Anatomy. I have not watched any Grey's Anatomy, so
me either.
Yay! Air high five. Pew.
I haven't watched since the musical episode.
So. Great. Now, Bex, general thoughts on Heated Rivalry. We got to keep our tangents to a minimum. We got to try and keep this to a tight hour and a half.
I mean, I absolutely loved it from right away. I don't know. I'm not even sure what got me to watch it. If someone else was talking about it, if I just saw it on social media or what, because I'm not on as much social media these days. So maybe Meg mentioned it in the Discord and I was like, let me check it out. That's probably likely. And yeah, I devoured it all in that first weekend. I try not to binge things, but I couldn't help it with this. I just kept going. And then I rewatched it. I have only rewatched it. I think I've only watched it 5 times through. So
only.
And the last time was like almost a month ago. It was like back when we were going to originally record this episode, but I haven't had a chance since. It was the end of the semester. Excuses. That's what I need now to like decompress, right? I don't know. At first I was like, wow, they're doing a lot of time jumps. That's crazy. Like, what's happening here? But it worked. I thought it really worked. Like once you got into it, I liked that they brought like, it was history, like it was historical in the weirdest sense that someone born in the 20th century is referring to the early 2000s as history, but like, yes, it's
vintage.
It's vintage. Oh my God. I can't. But it was kind of fun to watch them like go through the whole thing together. But I will say the first time watching through, and I feel like this is probably a lot of people, especially if you haven't read the books, a lot of people's experience the first time through is you get to episode 3 and you're like, the fuck? Who are these characters? We just had this whole issue going on in episode 2, and now you're going to leave me hanging and not talk about those characters for like a whole episode. But I will say that episode 3 is one of my absolute favorites. So, yeah, I don't know. I love it. There's so many things to talk about that I can't organize my thoughts yet, but I feel like once you all start picking topics, I'm gonna like jump in on them.
I love that you think that we're gonna pick a topic instead of just randomly yell into the void.
Okay, but I want you to pick the topics we're gonna randomly yell about.
Yes, and I'm sure we will. So, all right, Meg, what would you like to yell into the void about first, with general thoughts on the show?
Well, I hated it.
I know. You rage watched it 28 times.
More than that. Let's be honest. I would be ashamed, but I don't care. I remember I found out my kids watched it without telling me. And I was like, well, all right. Well, now I can watch it in the living room. So
there you go.
I have teenagers. It's all right. But so I started watching it. I was still watching it when it was coming out live. But I resisted watching it at first because I like the cover art looked kind of dorky, and I was like, all right, well, I heard it was just like really porny, and I prefer to read my porn. But no, then I watched it, and it was one of those things where I actually have to like kind of, like Beck said, cut back on some of my rewatches because I will think like I can just put it on the background and I can like do other stuff, and then I'm on the couch watching it because I just enjoy it so much. I think the acting is so good. I did not read the books before I saw the show, and that's what we can talk about, Bex, is episode 3 on my rewatches is the one I tend to skip. Not because I don't like it. Not because I don't like it,
but it's out of place.
But it's out of place, and I feel like we know that information. I don't feel like, and this is no shade to Francois or Robbie GK, I don't think their acting is as nuanced. Like with Hudson Williams, you have to look at it like you can't look away because he does so much with his face. And honestly, it has so much more of like just a basic rom-com vibe. And as much as I love rom-coms, I really like the more angsty story of Shane and Ilya, honestly. Like, yeah. I'll watch it if I have time, but if I only have time for 5, it's the one I'm skipping. 5. Only 5. If that extra hour's not there, then
you definitely need it your first time through because you have to understand what happens in episode 5, right? Like you need, like otherwise it just doesn't make sense. Mm-hmm. But I get that being able to watch that or like being able to skip over that. Whereas like if I'm like, oh, if I only have time for one episode, I'm gonna jump into that one because I want to be able to like watch it and be done. I think the Heated Rivalry, like again, I've only read 4 of the books, and I do think that Heated Rivalry makes the best show of the 4. Mm-hmm. But I wouldn't have minded like a movie version of Game Changers, right? Like that would have been like, I don't know. I would have preferred to have that story drawn out. I think we would have sympathized with it a little bit more. There would have been time for nuance that we didn't get because it felt so rushed to me.
Right. But to be honest, I like Scott and Kip more in the show than I do in the books. And just for anyone who's thinking that they might want to read or listen to the books, do not listen to the audiobooks.
No.
Really?
Like, do not. Until they re-record it, because there is talks about re-recording it. Do not listen, because that's the first time I read Game Changers was through Audible, and it was, no offense, dude, the worst narration I have ever heard. I had to Google if Kip was supposed to be Australian or English and not from Brooklyn in the books. Because,
oh my gosh.
And he sounds so stupid. He sounds like an oaf. I had to listen to it on 2 times speed just to not want to.
So,
oh my God.
During, I forget when it was, but Mom Donnie, our mayor in New York City, shout out, at some point, something happened. Maybe it was a snowstorm. It was a snowstorm. We had a big blizzard. And
I remember that.
He hooked it up with the libraries to anyone who wanted to borrow the audiobooks of Heated Rivalry, anybody could get it for free. So I was like, great, let me download it. And then I spent 5 minutes listening to it. I was like, no. I did hear Rachel read on the House of Mar podcast talking about how I think it's only the first 3 books, maybe 4.
Yeah, the first 3 books.
Did the first 3 books. And then she was able to advocate for a narrator that she really enjoyed. So I don't know. I haven't listened to them, but I'm guessing that if you listen to 4, 5, and 6 in the series, the narration will be more enjoyable, hopefully.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the possibility of Hudson and Connor recording their books because I've heard snips of the newer narrator for the long game, and they're better. They're definitely better, but it's the lowest bar imaginable to be better than the first guy. This is the worst. But the Russian accent and stuff gets a little bit muddy in there.
That's got to be tricky.
If you can't do it, then don't try.
Yeah.
But
agreed.
Anyway. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I'm bummed that Bex hasn't read the last 2 books because I had a lot of things to say.
I haven't. I literally just bought them today, 10 minutes before we came on.
All right. Well, so my general thoughts on the show was, okay, so first and foremost, everything I know about hockey, I have learned from Letterkenny, Shoresy, and now Heated Rivalry. So I think that's pretty much all of it. Because in Letterkenny, they're kind of dumb, right? They're like the meatheads, you got the hockey player, the jock type. In Shoresy, it's all heart. I was actually so pleasantly surprised at just how amazing the character Shoresy was and how much I actually love him because you're introduced to him. In Letterkenny, you never see his face. He's always chirping, talking shit, absolutely hilarious. And then in his show, he is still that guy, but very hockey focused and just with the biggest heart. He gives his teammates shit for not calling their parents once they land. And he's like, what, they must fly every day, not calling their parents? And now I have Heated Rivalry, which is the horniness. So I think that pretty much covers it.
The horniness of hockey.
So thank you, Jared Kiso and Jacob Tierney for making me a, quote, hockey fan.
Hockey fan. So many people were like, the nice thing about Heated Rivalry is you go into it and leave it knowing exactly the same amount about hockey.
Exactly.
You learn, nothing new about hockey, which I'm fine with.
I'm fine with as well. But so when I started watching it, those first 2 episodes, very horny, very hot. I'm just it's kind of a hoot because I'm thinking of Jacob Tierney as Glenn. That's why I was like, God damn, Glenn, this is much better than your Passion Christ project in the Easter episode of Letterkenny. And then I was like, oh, this is fun, it's kind of smutty and everything. And then we get to episode 3 and I'm like, excuse me? And then it ends and I'm like, now I'm sad? That was a whole roller coaster of emotions. So I love episode 3 and I love both sets of characters of couples. And I know exactly what you're saying, Meg, with Scott and Kip and, and not as like nuanced and everything. And I totally understand that. I totally get that. But I don't know. There was just something about them that was so fucking cute. And, I'm not huge on rom-coms, but I'm like, give me more of their adorable flirting and Kip and his coworkers just being like, he likes you and all of that. Like, I was so down. And then at the end, when Scott covers his blueberry banana socks, I was like, no, I don't like that.
Yeah.
And then I happy cried at the end of episode 5.
Yeah, I really appreciate that they aged them up from the books, because in the books, Scott's only a couple or like 3 years older than Shane and Ilya. Which makes Ilya's jokes about how old Scott Hunter is funnier because he's 3 years older than them. But I think what I really appreciate about the Scott and Kip, especially as a contrast to Shane and Ilya, is like they have their stuff. Obviously, you can't even take Scott to an art gallery. Like, dude, you can just like hang out with dudes as friends. You know that, right?
Like, I was like, sir,
why are you trying to look like Pete Davidson in this art gallery?
Because he's in New York.
You gotta
put the New York cosplay on.
It's so crazy. You could just go to a bar and just hang. Like, going to a gay bar doesn't mean you are gay. I mean, but you are. But you are. But I liked the aging up because it shows a difference of maturity levels. With both of them, their relationship immediately feels much more adult and much more.
I think that's why I like that. I'm like at that point where, yes, the kids' story is fun. And the kids, they're in their 20s, but like
they're 17 when they meet, so they're technically kids in the beginning.
But it's just like there was something a little more, like you said, adult relatable to it. I also think in episode 3, the thing that sealed it for me was Kip's dad. I love Kip's dad like no other character in this show. Like, yes, he absolutely is. He has like 5 lines, but they are the sweetest, precious, most caring lines I've ever heard out of any father in a show, and he makes my heart warm every time I watch that.
I love his like confused, somewhat blank stare in episode 5 when Scott's trying to get Kip to the ice and his dad's just like.
So that is one thing that is
this is great for this audio media.
In the timeline of the show, my whole thought was, I kind of lost track of how many years had gone by with Shane and Ilya. Like and I was like, oh, he must have gone away to art school, to grad school, and then he's come back and maybe they're trying to rekindle something. But
that was
in the
a
books,
mistake.
It's like 2 weeks.
That was a mistake. That was a continuity error. Jacob Tierney had talked about it. So
I still liked it. I felt like it worked for anybody who hadn't read the book. It worked. It's like, no, they took time off and now they're maybe trying to start something up again. And he's like, so I was okay with it. I was actually surprised when I read the book and it was just like, okay, 2 weeks later, they actually talked it out and dealt with it like adults do. What?
But the big kiss, the kiss doesn't happen until Heated Rivalry's book. It doesn't happen in the Game Changers book. So what happens for the Game Changers book is, and I think this is kind of what my brain says happened. It just took longer that Scott goes and meets Kip's parents and like they have a small circle. So Kip's not feeling like he's lying to everybody in his life.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, so maybe they just dated for those few years but that's kind of my thought process of it because it really it was supposed to be the same year, but they just changed it for the show, I guess, apparently.
Yeah, it worked.
But what happens? But yeah. So it was after, episode 3 and then 5 and then 6, obviously. I'm just like, this is the sweetest fucking show. And I love that they use the sex and the porniness as kind of like the hook to get you. Not the first show to ever do that. Not going to be the last show to ever do that. So I love that they played it just like any other show and gave these gay characters the same storylines, the same steamy-weemy sex scenes. I love that the intimacy scenes were very strictly choreographed, but they were very, according to IMDb, strictly choreographed. But between the two actors, they were very open about how far they're willing to go and how comfortable they were with each other. And I love it. So one of the little touches of when they're in one of the first episodes, and is it Ilya puts his hands on Shane's chest or vice versa? Either way, apparently that was improvised. And honestly,
Ilya
it was
grabbing Shane's peck.
And honestly,
Sorry,
that
God,
was like
that's so
one
sad.
of the hottest moments. I knew you would know. And that's, I mean, I had a 50-50 shot.
That's why Meg is here.
She's our fact checker.
Fact checks.
I have those fun little behind the scenes tidbits too.
But yeah, and so when I rewatched it this week to prep for this, I was telling Meg at the beginning that this is a show that I think I'm going to like more and more every time I rewatch it.
Yeah. So I do. Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, and I'm rereading the books right now because I read the books over I read them all in like 4 days because I'm a normal person. But there's something called the Great Rachel Read because a lot of the books kind of take place at the same time. So my reread right now has been going between the books in the order of the timeline for the whole
Wow, that's awesome.
show. So right now,
fun.
I'm in the middle of my reread of Role Model and The Long Game. And my husband was making me do manual labor outside and getting stung by a bee. I was thinking about all the stuff I was like, oh God, I want to talk about how Hayden kind of sucks. He's not that good of a friend. And then,
oh no, does he turn poopy?
He's already better in the show than I liked him in the books, but they're he finds out about Shane and Ilya and he's kind of a dick about it.
I was worried about that. I hope you don't go
so in the epilogue of the first one, of the second book. But I mean, since I haven't gotten to the last one,
Did you read the little short story, My Dinner with Hayden?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I read that. And it was meh. In terms of I thought it was kind of I don't know. I'm a little rusty on it. It was a month or two ago that I read it, but it was I didn't think it was terrible. I just thought he didn't know how to deal with it, which was dumb. It's not that hard.
Right. I get it. But this is your best friend's partner of several years. And you're going to sit here and act like that Ilya's just using Shane and just messing with him. And his on ice persona and who he is as a person are two different things. And Hayden, you haven't earned, frankly, the real Ilya.
Yeah.
So that's one of those things. And there's a little bit more to it kind of in The Long Game that I'm not a huge fan of. I wish we got more of Carter in the show because Carter Vaughn, who is Scott's teammate, is Carter Vaughn is who JJ thinks he is. Because, I don't want to spoil too much because a lot of it's just there are things that happen. And Bex, when you read The Long Game, let me know and I can get a little bit more into where my irritation and frustration with Hayden
and maybe I'll have it too.
Because it's too big of a spoiler if you haven't read it, and I'm not going to do that.
Oh, that's so nice of you, Meg.
Thank you.
Which kills me because I really wanted to talk about it. But it would also be a really big spoiler for season 2, and I really don't. It's too big of a thing to not have happen, and I know there's a lot of people who haven't read the book specifically because they don't want to be spoiled for the season. So, anyway.
I do have a question for you ladies. So, I love how much Shane and Ilya end up loving each other and being in love with each other.
Obsessed.
Yes. Do you think it was love at first sight for one or both of them? Do you think, and if so, which one do you think fell first?
Well, I think Shane had a hockey crush on Ilya. Like, that's how I would see it. But I don't know. And then, yeah, Meg, I'm going to defer to you.
I know the answer.
Oh, there is an answer.
There is an answer. We don't necessarily know. Well, there isn't as much of an answer as far as Shane. I think Shane was really intrigued and really into Ilya, but he has so much internalized homophobia that I think it's really hard for him to get going in that kind of way. Yeah. We do learn that Ilya pretty much was gone on Shane the second he saw his freckles. Like, the minute they met, Ilya was, like, gone. He says at one point in the books, it took his head a little while to catch up, but his heart, he feels like, was immediately Shane's.
Oh,
yeah, freckles always get them.
Yeah,
freckles.
I mean, they're freckles. They're cute.
That slow fucking hockey player with a boring car and a weak backhand. So 4 through 6 are my favorites.
I love that is the actual answer, because that's what I was kind of thinking upon rewatching. Because I agree, Bex. I think Shane had like a hockey crush on Ilya, but there was just something about the way Ilya was looking at Shane in that very first encounter outside in episode 1, and then just their flirtiness throughout the whole series.
And he was the one who organized.
Oh, go ahead. I'm just saying, Ilya has already by this point accepted his bisexuality, and he is not even accepted. He has never had an issue with it. It was never something that he was like upset about or torn about. And again, sorry, this is a little bit of spoilers. It's something that's talked about in the long game, but it's just he viewed being bisexual as more opportunities for sex. Because he used hockey and sex to cope with his mom's suicide in Russia. Yeah. It's not like he got therapy for any of that. His dad like beat it into his head that it was an accident. And that she was just weak and all this other stuff. So that's kind of what Ilya's view on it. He's much more like a sex.
And I do know that in the long game, and again, I don't want to get too much into the spoilers, but that it is like a lot of Shane's struggles with like their relationship and openness of it, like to like share their relationship with others and that sort of thing. That's a part of it. Is that correct?
Yes and no. A lot of it is more of them trying to figure out, like, once you are going from a hookup to an actual, like, relationship and trying to actually be together, there is a lot of those struggles. Hockey is so much more Shane's, like, definition of who he is than it is for Ilya. So I think the idea of being outed and potentially losing his career is a lot scarier for him. Because Ilya's like, I'll come out whenever. Ilya's like, I don't care. Like, but a lot of it was like...
It's giving Dan and Phil. I know that's real life people, but like, they truly are. If you're a real life people that are connected to this show, and they did a watch of it on their Patreon, and because they had a secret relationship for 16 years, like they were working together, and people speculated way more than in this situation, but like, they really kept that locked down in every facet of their life. Like even the moment where they touched feet under the table at the press conference, they were like, we never could have done that because one of y'all would have seen it and it would have been the end of everything, right?
Well, and I think that in the show, I was like, is there like a thing covering the bottom of the table where the journalists wouldn't have seen that? I was like,
also you got to remember those. So that's in like 2009 or 2010. We didn't have that kind of constant phone culture or anything like that.
That's true.
And some of my favorite fanfics are actually like about their social media, where it's like Tumblr girls and Twitter are like shipping them, and they're looking through all of this evidence and stuff like that. And there's one scene at the All-Star game when Ilya kisses Shane on the cheek during the All-Star game. And if you look in the background, because this is how cool I am, you guys, there's a girl holding her phone up, and then she puts it down right after, and someone was like, "Yep, that's a Tumblr girly right there. That's gonna go. That's gonna go on her own little thing." And there's a lot of fics that's what she is. Like this.
Yeah.
Girlies, I love it.
And that was so real for Dan and Phil that like when they were watching the show, when they were watching Heated Rivalry, they were like pausing it and they were like, this is too real. This is too real. Yeah. It's like for most of us, it's just like total fiction, but it really was a big part of their life as well. So, you know, I think many of us can look at that as such a fictional account, but there are reasons why that does happen in real life, whether it's hockey, whether it's, you know, YouTube or whatever it is.
Mm-hmm. But, oh God, I'm such a dork.
I love
tell you about
and
minute
I love
43. No.
Meg pulls up a PowerPoint and it's just all 6 episods,
right?
Like screenshot by screenshot.
Let me get you the fic recs that I have. There's one that I actually love. It's a fic and it has a companion fic that is the social media reaction to what's happening in the.
Oh, that's cool. I love that alternate like angle.
I will send them. I will send the links to both of you.
Okay.
It's been a while since I read fanfic, and I'm really ready for it again.
Yeah, it's not. It's an alternate canon divergence thing, so it's not the same necessarily as what's going to happen in the show or in the books. But it's really cute, and the social media side of it is really enjoyable and really, really fun. Mm-hmm. And it obviously you read one chapter of the book or the fic, and then the social media response to it, and it's really fun. I like those things now, apparently. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's amazing the things we start to like in our 40s.
I like to go change between stuff over and over again. But
that's fun. Yeah.
I'm going to jump to the last episode, The Cottage, because now that I've seen the show, I understand the t-shirts and stuff that I've seen online of I'm still at the cottage. Like I figured something positive or lovely happened before I started watching the show. I was like, oh, did they just get like extra horny or something? They're just up in a cottage. It's so much better than that. Mm-hmm. They are living the couple life and they're laying on the couch and playing footsies and swimming in the lake. And Ilya knows exactly where Shane's phone has been all day and what it's been doing. Like that is couple shit. 100%.
They're wearing each other's clothes.
Oh my God. So I loved this episode. I'm so happy for them that they just kind of have that getaway, that time to just kind of be themselves. When Shane's dad walked in, I was a little nervous because I wasn't sure how the show was going to go about this. You never once got the feeling that Shane's parents were going to be homophobic or anything in any way. So I'm glad that it was more about just that that he didn't feel comfortable telling them. And I love that the mom had that same kind of reaction as Patrick's mom in Schitt's Creek, where they were more upset that they felt because their kid didn't feel comfortable enough to tell them. So, versus like just being gay, they're just like, the fact that you couldn't come out and tell us for whatever reason seemed to hurt at least the mom more in this scenario, in this show. So I loved that, but I loved how all of that was handled, and it wasn't even like it wasn't like a bad thing. You know, the truth had to come out eventually. I love that Ilya was like, I'll go with you. He referred to them as lovers, which gross.
I love that. So gross. Funny. That is from the Ilya, that's right from the book.
Oh, I love it.
And the way Hudson delivers that line is A+.
Yes.
Yeah. It's great. I love how they're able to take at least some of the one of the things I love about the show is how they're able to like use I normally don't like texting on screen and stuff like that, but Shane is so internal as a character that I love that him typing and deleting a text and stuff like that kind of is giving you insight into what's going on in his mind.
And it's so relatable.
Yeah. And I'm his mom does have some casual homophobia that we see, and I think that the show does it really well, where you can understand where Shane's kind of uncomfortable with this, because there is a lot of casual homophobia, like that cocksucker here and fucking right in the butt and stuff like that, because she's not like overtly like we hate gay people or anything like that. But I think that's these little microaggressions that a lot of people don't even necessarily realize that they're doing it, because, and again, this is in 2009, where it's so much more accepted, even if it's not acceptable. It was just, and it's...
Yeah, it was almost just like people didn't think about it. They didn't have an awareness of it if it didn't affect them. Yeah. And
you don't have to be throwing the F slur out there to make people feel uncomfortable with that. But little things like that, you can imagine, would be why Shane...
But also the hockey culture, the whole like way in which saying the word gay. I mean, I was a high school teacher during those years. Like, I know how it was thrown around, and I would have discussion after discussion with my students about how that was inappropriate and why, and that was oftentimes the first time they had heard any sort of pushback on it, right? And so I think the same was true, like, it maybe continues to be true in the hockey world, I'm not sure, but also with his parents. Like, it was just like, oh, that's the parlance of the day. Like, that's just how people talked. Like, not, like you said, accepted, but not acceptable. And I will say, in the cottage episode, I was waiting for the shoe to drop the whole time. I'm like, your parents live 10 minutes away, and you're telling me no one's going to show up. However, his dad hasn't charged his phone in a week. Like, you've got the good charger? What?
And so in the books, he's looking for dishwasher pods.
Yes, he is. He is looking for something else. I did write. That was more logical. At least it was like, oh, we ran out, and I knew I could get them.
You know
but
what?
I was like,
David seems like the kind of guy that if his phone battery dies, oh well. Like, he does not seem like a big techie guy. And I always thought it was so funny when people were like, what do you mean this guy doesn't know what YouTube is? And like all the young people watching him, like, it was 2009. It was 2009.
It just started.
I even forgot that while watching the show, and I was like, a portal? I was like, oh, okay, yeah. I get, I mean, not anymore, but yeah.
I do love David and Yuna. And I think Yuna's gonna... There are people who have, like, issues with Yuna and stuff, and I'm like, just wait.
I feel like she's super supportive.
No bigger ally than Yuna.
And I got that energy. I think because she is like a momager, right? Like that's where people already have their hackles up. They're like, oh, you're that kind of person. You're gonna like do this the wrong way. And I feel like, again, when she made those comments, at least the way we saw them in the show, it was in the earlier 2000s. Like, it was probably close to a decade before, and I think she's grown as well.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. With the times.
And Meg, that is a really good point with her microaggressions. And yeah, if you're not someone that's going to directly impact, like I grew up, and so I was like, oh yeah, that's just how we talked back then. So
saying that's so gay as something that's just like, oh, that's lame. And I'm like, oh wait, lame is even like
exactly. So it was kind of funny because I had told my husband about this show and why I was watching it, and Jacob Tierney and its ties to Letterkenny in that sense. And so one night I was like, all right, he's getting ready to go to bed, and I was like, I gotta go watch the gay hockey show. Silence. And then, oh, okay. He's like, you didn't mean it in the 90s way. I was like, no, I meant it in the literal sense here. So it took him that like second to get back into 20, because he was like, she wouldn't use it that way. He was more confused than anything else. And so, and I kind of did that on purpose to see if I could confuse him, and it worked, and I win.
Yeah, but I agree. The cottage episode is probably my favorite. I love, especially, it's such a lovely payoff after the tuna melt scene in episode 4, because, like, first off, I love episode 4. I am here for the angst. The nightclub scene, I think, is fucking fantastic. Shane not being able to get ginger ale anywhere but from Ilya throughout the whole episode. And I just want to take 1 second to be like, what the fuck kind of bartender are you? That
if you question?
if someone says, give me ginger ale, or do you have ginger ale? And I'm like, yeah, but you can have, and then to be like, Shane Hollander can have anything he wants except fucking ginger ale. This has been my pet peeve this whole time. Is how annoyed I am with this bartender, because he obviously can't have whatever he wants. He won't give him the fucking ginger ale. You can keep flirting with him, but maybe give him his drink. What if he was sober? Like, what the hell? Why are you judging?
This is before all these NA beers are out there.
Yes. It was O'Doul's.
I love me an NA beer, but not an O'Doul's.
It was O'Doul's or water. But, and that's the thing that they talk about. One of the reasons Shane drinks a lot of ginger ale is because it looks like beer.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
and
he doesn't.
It blends. It's so nice to have the non-alcoholic or the like 0.5%, because like I'm not completely sober, but like alcohol doesn't agree with me. But I like to drink at the pace that that other people around me are drinking. So like that they have those options now, fantastic. But like you're gonna judge Shane for like wanting ginger ale in a time when he can't get access to these sort of things. Like, let him drink, let him live.
But I did love that he can't get it anywhere except when he's with Ilya. Like, and we see that he asks for it in multiple places, and the only place, and he doesn't even have to ask Ilya. Ilya has it. So, and like, on the Rachel Reed's website, there are some little short stories that she writes. Like, she writes the Las Vegas scene from Ilya's point of view, and that gives you a really interesting, heartbreaking perspective on it. So Bex, I would definitely recommend you going and reading it if you haven't.
I would love to. I haven't yet. But like in my mind, I was so mad at Shane in that scene too, because like, wait, am I thinking? Is this the one
Ilya?
on the rooftop? Was this the rooftop?
No. I mean when I mean after the MVP awards, when it was really really hot and then really really awkward.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I would like to read that perspective. Actually, I will. You said that's on her website. I'll be there.
Yeah, it's really really good.
I try not to get into too many of the things until I've engaged with all like the original content. So like once I've read the books, I will probably dig into.
This
like,
is original content though, because like she wrote it, so it's within the canon and stuff, which I like. But just Shane's freak out over the tuna melt, and I see a lot of people be like, he was totally justified, and Ilya's been playing hot and cold with him after that we didn't even kiss scene. I'm like, y'all, 2 years of constant hooking up have gone by in this time. I get where Shane's coming from, but it's not like this was the first time they saw each other after that. That's the first time we see them together. Except for the whole montage of My Moon, My Man, which has now become like one of my most played songs because it's really good. I really like that song, not just because of the show. I just thought it was a really good song. But the payoff at the cottage, where this is the longest they've ever been able to spend with each other, and like Ilya's excitement about like when Shane's like, it's been a while, so I won't last that long. And we find out that Ilya hasn't been with anybody in that time either. And he's like, but we have 2 weeks. They have 2 weeks to just be.
Yes.
And to see if this is something that's going to be worth all of the work and all the effort, to see if they could even work. So, like, thank you, Scott Hunter. Because without Scott Hunter, none of that would ever happen.
Yep.
Yeah.
And one of the things I love about Shane and Ilya, especially like in the cabin, when they're talking, they talk about each other and themselves, and Ilya doesn't know what a loon is, and that was fucking cute.
Oh my god.
We have
a Canadian wolf bird.
Like, I want that as a tattoo for sure.
But I love their relationship and their conversations. Nothing ever drags or feels awkward. I love that Shane still calls Ilya an asshole, but in such like a cute, playful way and everything. But they can also talk shop. and obviously they know hockey. Obviously they can talk hockey and all of that. But the way that they just so seamlessly move kind of between the various topics of conversation it's so beautiful. It's so just kind of, they don't struggle. Other than just what they're, like Shane's internal struggles and everything. But in terms of conversation, especially at the cottage, I love it so much. They get so into talking about hockey and then talking about each other. And I'm just like,
yeah. And it's great because like any long-term relationship, you talk about so many different things, and you're not just like, yes, having the passion there is great. Again, especially because it's like 2 weeks that they get to spend. It's the first time, as you said, that they get to spend that much time together. But like, just to be able to sit there on the couch and like look relax. At their phones and relax and like not like, I was tense because I was like, when someone's going to find them, someone's going to discover them. I know this. And I'm just so glad it wasn't during a time they were having sex.
Yeah.
Like I was a little worried about that.
It was a sweet, more of like a relationship kind of moment. The sweet smooching, the talking about what's for dinner and all of that. Well, and I think
what's great about that too is like, even though the dad, David, didn't hear the whole conversation, everything, he could see that it was like a tender moment that he was interrupting. And I think that made it like, I forget now in the book if he told Una in the book.
In the book, he does tell Una. In this show, it doesn't seem to me that she knew. It doesn't
seem like she knew at all. And like, look, I get it. Especially like when you have a partner, you often share all of that information. But I really like the way they did that in the show because it was like, it wasn't his to tell. Yeah. And it gave Shane that opportunity to share it.
Yeah.
Like with both of them.
Yeah. And I love that. I love that David caught them kissing instead of playing video games and stuff like that, because I feel like Shane would have absolutely been like, we're just friends, and he like it would not have happened. And I also like, I love the human kind of fallacy and error that David has, where in his mind, he's like, I just interrupted something that I should not have seen. I invaded some privacy, and he leaves and doesn't think for a second that this might look to his son like he's rejecting him. And I really like that because it feels realistic, even as we're sitting there watching it, being like, no, David, don't go, stay, for the love of God, stay. But I also want to mention one of my favorite sex scenes is in this episode, and it's the video game, or it's the blowjob. Well,
he's on the phone with Hayden.
Talking to Hayden.
Yeah.
And just especially
that's hilarious.
It's so playful.
Yes.
And it's such coupley shit, right? Like so much of their stuff, and I think that is because they have this time together, because most of their stuff, they have an hour, maybe 2 hours together.
Right.
At most. And so they like really get down to the sex, and then there's not a lot of time for talking or playfulness. And I love seeing so much of that frankly, it's like 15 minutes of the episode, but it feels so rich. Everything about this show really makes the most of, God damn it, dog, makes the most of the time it has. And I just always want more. Like, I would love more than 6 episodes, because I think there's so much more we could get into. I would actually love to see the other characters from the book pop in.
Oh my gosh. I you know what? I was thinking about that because, like, as I said, I've only read the first 4 books, but like, I love Tough Guy, and I know that's like probably the lowest rated book of them all.
Common Goal, I think, is lower than that.
Yeah. Okay. Because like, Ryan is just so precious to me. I just want to like I want him to make an appearance in the show. Like, I don't, it could just be like a one-off game when like, because there's times where like
he will probably
he interacts with Ilya.
2. He will probably be in season 2.
I love him so much. I love him. Like, he's a
so coach.
Adorable.
He's a coach at one of their camps.
That's right. That's right.
So he should be there. Troy Barrett that played with Ryan.
Okay.
And the Guardians and stuff like it in Toronto. He's like the like kind
Not
of
Wyatt.
Wyatt's the goalie. He's like kind of a jerky. Him and Dallas Kent are like besties, and they're always making fun of Ryan's like fear of flying and stuff like that, and laughing at him.
Okay, I must have mixed up the characters.
And making some homophobic stuff. But Troy will definitely be in season 2. Like, absolutely 100%.
Yeah.
He's way too important in the last 2 books.
Awesome. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot. I suppose you got like hockey teams and players and whatnot. So I wanted to talk about quick Ilya and his family, his dad with dementia, his piece of shit brother, and then his like ride or die bestie for life, Svetlana. So what did you guys think of Ilya's story? Personally, the best moment and most beautiful and sweet and heartbreaking was him talking to Shane in Russian after his dad dies to just kind of get it all out. Everything about that was beautiful. But in this sense, my heart breaks for Ilya, Russian, bisexual. He says he can't go home. Shane's adorable for not understanding what that means, you sweet summer child.
Kind of annoying, though, actually.
Yeah, I'm like,
because this
ignorant
is
of global events.
This is right when, like, 2014, the anti-gay propaganda law in Russia, Sochi was a big deal because that law just passed in 2013, and Shane not knowing anything about it when he's a gay hockey player going to Russia feels weird to me, and I'm wondering if it goes along with the fact that he still has that internalized homophobia. He's just like, this is not me.
That's what I thought.
And he's like, I can put this wall up and just focus on hockey. But like in episode 5, which is like episode 5 to me is like perfect television. It's so good. But when he doesn't understand that Ilya being outed as queer means he can't go home, I find frustrating because this was a really big deal. This is still only 2017. It was really a crackdown in that time.
It was discussed in the episode where they went to the Olympics, right? Because Carter brings it up. He's like, "Oh, brave of him to like. It's not easy to be gay here and everything." And Shane, like, how is he not aware of this to that extent?
Yeah, well, and that's such an interesting another form of like the microaggression homophobia, because the assumption that a figure skater must be gay because he's a figure skater. It's an example of figure gator. Yeah. Figure skater. Sorry.
You're good. I can help it.
But I like the subtle kind of storylines, and I like if you're paying attention in episode 2, you can see Scott be like, at the same time. But like, I think some of Shane's ignorance is cute in a lot of ways. I don't like that this person that he really cares about and he's sleeping with, and he cares about him enough that he's wishing that he knew Russian. And that's a thing that's brought up in the book, in the books more than once. But not enough to understand why Ilya has more to lose than Shane does. Like, Shane might lose his career. Ilya would not be safe going home.
Yeah, losing his career and not having another place to go, because at that point he only has his Russian citizenship, and
that's why it's so important that he wants to go to Canada, or he talks about marrying Svetlana, who, I just want to say, the women in this show doesn't pass the Bechdel test, and that's okay.
Not at all.
But the women in this show are awesome. We haven't even talked about Rose and Svetlana.
That was going to be my next thing for sure.
Like, they are fantastic. Rose is so lovely and gentle with Shane in the beginning of episode 5, kind of like eking him out of the closet a little bit. And Hudson Williams did such a fantastic job in that scene. He does a wonderful job in all of it, but he has mastered the almost cry.
Yeah.
But Svetlana is just, I love them both.
I really like Svetlana in the show. She doesn't seem as important in the book at all. Like she doesn't play the same role. But I think them rewriting her to be the way she is and to play the role that she does in the show was super important for Ilya to have anybody in his world that could support him, especially when he and Shane are trying to figure their shit out, right? His brother is an asshole. You know, his father is as well, but then there's also the sadness of like him having dementia and like what that means and not being able to be there for your parent and kind of putting that on someone else. And Ilya's carrying all of that, right? He's carrying so much, and the bravado that he has on the ice is really his form of protecting himself against all of that world. And Svetlana is the character who gives him that space to be able to be himself. She understands the Russian situation fully. She's known him, you know, in the show they're like, oh, she's been dragging him around since they were kids. So, you know, they've had this long-standing relationship. And she's like, the women in this show are so goddamn smart.
Yeah.
She's like, oh yeah, so Jane, huh? Yeah, tell me about Jane.
Yeah.
And then the lucky guy.
And I love when they're talking in Russian and they, you know, they're talking about Jane and she uses he as the pronoun in the that's how it comes out translated. I don't know.
That's correct.
I assume Russian has pronouns. I know, like,
it does.
Some languages don't, but you know, it's like, I've got you. I know what this is about, and I'm still here for you. I'm going to support you on that, and that's why when he's like, okay, there's got to be a solution, and if the solution isn't us being able to openly be together and get married, because at that point in the show, it's definitely not on the table, then Svetlana makes the most sense. And of course, Svetlana's the one that like makes Shane the most jealous because he does understand that like this is the person who's been there for you all along, even when I couldn't. And I want to be that person. So yeah, I adore Svetlana.
I think the change they made to Svetlana as a character is going to make a lot of stuff in season 2 even more heartbreaking than. Oh,
okay.
Yeah, sorry. Season 2 is not going to be all sunshine and rainbows.
No, I mean, I didn't figure.
No, like, that's what I think. I'm seeing a lot of things, and I agree. It's like, I'm so excited for season 2, but also I'm, like, terrified of season 2 because there is so much, and you get so much more involved in Ilya's trauma and his family stuff and more conflict between the two of them, because now that they're trying to make a relationship work, now that they've admitted that they love each other and want to be together, it changes everything. It changes everything. It makes everything so much more complicated, and they have this tendency to trigger each other by accident, because Shane, like, and you see it in the show, Shane's family is his comfort. Like, his family are who he wants is his home. Like, he looks forward to spending time with his family. He loves that he's only 10 minutes away from his parents' cottage with his cottage and stuff like that.
That's not something Ilya can relate to.
Exactly. and Ilya's family is trauma and pain, and you know, he's not even loved by the people who are supposed to love him. Like, his father, who is supposed to love him unconditionally, clearly abusive. His brother constantly tells him that he doesn't need him while taking his money.
Yep.
But I talked a little bit. Ilya's comfort is with sex and joking and this defense he has around himself. And Shane's not comfortable with his sexuality. He's not super comfortable like talking about sex. The autism sometimes makes makes it a little harder sometimes to understand necessarily what Ilya's saying, which is one of the reasons why, especially in the books, they talk about how much, and you can see it in the show, how much Shane likes to take direction. He likes it when Ilya's very direct with him, because it's just, that's just the way
Gives him
Shane's brain
something
works.
concrete, something concrete to follow to do.
Yeah, that's like, and you can see how surprised Ilya is when he tells Shane to get on his knees, and Shane fucking drops. And you see Ilya like mouthing "wow." But
is it just quick question? Is it because do they ever say in the show that Shane's on the spectrum? Okay,
no,
but do they say it in the books then or implied? Okay,
no, Shane doesn't know. It's like Rachel Reed said yes, he's on the spectrum, but Shane doesn't know he's on the spectrum. He's just Shane. So if Shane doesn't know, it's not like he's going to be in therapy talking about his neurodivergence. Right.
I just wasn't sure if it was made maybe more clear in the books or anything like that. So
no, and as I understand it too, that like when Hudson was reading the part, like he took it as that, and he's like, no, this is exactly how like his dad's on the spectrum. That.
Okay.
Right. And so he understands that, and he's reading this character to be like, oh yeah, this guy is on the spectrum, and Rachel Reed confirmed that, right?
Okay. Yeah.
So yeah.
Which I think special interest means he makes a lot of money for hockey.
Which I think also makes it really interesting when he's engaging with Rose, right?
Yeah.
Because the way that he answers Rose's questions in ways that like most people would just be like, oh, I'm not going to say, that's not your business. But because she asks him directly or indirectly, like she kind of alludes to it, but then she's like, I'm going about this the wrong way. I realize like I can't imply things with you. I have to say them directly. And when she does, then he answers directly. Okay. Mm-hmm. Right? I just but I'm sorry, the I'd rather be the hole than the peg. I love it. Lost it.
I love that so much.
He's
proud of him.
He's tried to take her analogy, right? He took her analogy and was like, let me say what I need to say using that analogy, which is not something he would normally do. But it gave him permission to admit something without having to say the words fully out loud. So I adore the way that Rose interacts with him, and even after, like when he's at the cottage, or no, before the cottage, when he's like watching the playoffs, the Stanley Cup playoffs with his family, and he's on the phone with Rose outside, and she's just like, tell him you're my beard and blah blah blah, my big lesbian secret. Like she's trying to find a way that he can live and enjoy his life the way he wants to, but still have her be a part of it. Like I adored that friendship, and like the women in Svetlana and Rose in particular, but even Yuna, like the women in this show are just, they're crucial. Yes, it does not pass the Bechdel test. Never once do any of these women talk to each other. Like it's not even about the Bechdel test. It's about the women are you in the same scene?
Right.
Yeah. Even Hayden has a wife. No one else's wife or girlfriend is at that party watching the game with them. Right? Like there's never once, I can't think of a moment besides like, oh, you're in the club, and of course there are different women around, but none of them are interacting with each other. Like, what is happening here? But yet they carry so much of this show.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, they're so in depth and well thought out with very limited screen time. Mm-hmm. You know, like I loved Rose.
I thought she was so sweet, and remaining best friends, and the way she handled all of that with Shane was just lovely. And it's one of those shows. It was kind of like Ted Lasso. Like, I have TV trust issues, so I'm waiting for something just horrible to happen, and nothing god awful happens. You know, like there's turmoil and, like you said, Meg, angst. I know how much you love your angst and everything.
I really do.
But like, you know, Bex, like you said, I was waiting in the cabin. I was waiting for something horrible to happen. You know, like just the show just switching genres completely, and then just turning like drama, thriller, horror or something. Everyone's dead, and I'm just like, murderer. Scott is a serial killer. No. So I love that this show just I went off on a bit of a tangent, but then I forgot where I was going with it. But I think for time, let's get to Stray Bubbles, if that's all right with you ladies. So if there's anything else, Bex, that we didn't get to, now's our chance to get it all out quick.
Oh my gosh, it's just honestly, I just could keep talking about all the aspects of this show. Like, I honestly could, like, if you had said, "Hey, let's do 6 episodes on this," I'd be like, 100%. "I'm in. I'll record with you every single time."
I'm not against it, for the record. I see you, Meg.
Okay.
Don't
let me clear my calendar.
Now you have to. Sorry, it's done.
Those are the rules.
Yep.
Yeah, I feel like it'd be so easy to go like scene by scene in this. I'm just gonna throw out one random silly thing that drove me crazy was how frickin' liquidy Scott's smoothies were.
Oh my god,
not a smoothie. That's a juice, not a smoothie. Please.
Okay,
you put a banana in it and it's that thin.
runny?
No, something is wrong. Something is
I love that it's a running joke with the cast too about how terrible it was. Yeah.
I love it.
It's just I couldn't. Yeah, I already talked about loving Kip's dad. I definitely think I'm at the age where I love all the dads because I love David too. Like we've reached that point in my life. Yeah, I guess so many things. The music for each episode is so well placed. I'm not really a big like I don't focus on the music too often, but like the tattoo song, like it's just so well placed in that moment, right? Like maybe it's kind of like, oh, that's the song now it's in everybody's head or whatever, but like it really just fits. I love seeing those moments that I don't love stories where people get together, break up, get together, break up, get together, break up. This was not that, right? This was them trying to navigate who they were and what they were doing and why they were and what that meant for them. So it wasn't just breaking them up for the sake of breaking them up. It was like, okay, Shane's going to take off after the tuna melts. And that's going to really hurt. It's not just going to be like, we had to separate them for the plot. It was, we had to separate them for their growth, right? The character's growth. And I don't know. There's too many things running in my head. So
I know.
All the things you said running through my head.
Oh no.
The transition from Tattoo's version to Harrison's version, I thought was really, really good in that scene too. When you're
so beautiful.
You switch from just a general kind of thing, and that Ilya, like Miles saluting Ilya, and Ilya knowing that means Rose is there, which means Shane is there because he's been obsessively scrolling social media. I can talk. Social media. And just that turnaround, and we didn't really give Connor Story enough flowers for the way he played Ilya. He does not look or sound like himself at all. That man is a chameleon. He did so well. But like watching him track until he sees Shane, and then he's like, well, take a big swig of beer and I'm going to go find someone and dance right in his eye line. And then when we go to Shane and it changes from Tattoo to Harrison's version, when we clearly shift to Shane's point of view, I think like everything about this show is so well done. The 3-minute one shot when they get to the cottage in the very beginning, that's just amazing. The amount of mirrors they use, and you never see a cameraman, and all the reflections they did, like, technically there's a lot of stuff I would love to talk about. There's just so much cool filmmaking when they did it with some duct tape and $5 Canadian.
Whole $5 Canadian dollars.
And $5.
I will also add, like, talking about the women in this show, the woman who was dancing with Ilya in the club, like, didn't have a single word, but she was a full-on character, right? Like, I feel like she was more, it would be so easy to just make her an object in that scene, and she wasn't. She was enjoying herself. She wasn't just there for Ilya's sake. And
no, she knew her boyfriend was watching.
That's true. That's true.
In the book, she's putting on a show.
In the show.
Yeah, in the book, she's putting on a show for her boyfriend. Because when Ilya asks her if she wants, that's why Ilya is alone. When Ilya asks her if she wants to get out of there, she goes, "No, I'm here with my boyfriend. He really likes to watch. It gets him riled up." But she was amazing. I think she did such a good job, and the costumes were fantastic. Like there's so much. Again, I could absolutely go.
Please, Jen, let's do 6 episodes.
We will do 6 episodes.
And then hopefully Bex will finish the books by then, so I can.
I promise I will. They'll be done by next week.
So many things, because role model might be my favorite. Like role model and The Long Game are like top tier. I read them together.
Nice. I'm looking forward to it, but yeah, I went down to the Ripped Bodice this morning or this afternoon, whatever time it was, and I was like, I just walked in and I knew right where they were on the shelves. I grabbed the last 2 books in the series. I will read the standalone one after as well, because she has another book that's hockey related, but not. Yeah.
I haven't read that
yes,
one.
these two I will be done with probably within the next week or so. I know that I read Common Goal in like 24 hours because
they're fast. They're fast reads. They're pretty quick, but
page turners, just like keeping you going.
Yeah. Well, and but I did want to shout out to Connor's story because he thought everyone thought he was Russian. Everyone thought he was a Slavic man.
Yes.
He's from Texas. Like, what the hell?
He's from
Texas?
Odessa, which is really funny. But Odessa, Texas.
I guess when you look at him, you think, okay, either Russian or Texan. No.
But he's like so smiley and like.
That was the other thing I wanted to bring up is the way they act, both Hudson and Connor, the way they act, they're amazing because when you see them out of character and just doing press or whatever,
wild.
They are opposites, like total, like Hudson is that very like, all right, I'm going to get in your face. I'm going to use my sexuality to my benefit. And I'm going to like make comments that are like alluding to, or not even alluding to, but like straight up saying something sexual.
He literally said he wanted his hole on a GIF in LA. Meanwhile, Connor is like, "Oh, does people only care about butt stuff?"
Yeah, he's so cute. He's so precious. He's just like what is it when it's like baby girl,
baby girl.
And like, but in the show, it's totally not, right? Like, that's how they're good at what they're doing. They're great at their jobs.
Well, and it's not as much anymore, but I was always really frustrated when I would hear people talking about how Hudson is so wooden and like he's not good, and Shane's just not a good character, and he's really like da-da. I'm like,
that's the character.
That's who he is. Like.
Get off your phones, people, and pay attention.
Yeah. And I genuinely believe anyone who doesn't like the show watched it with their phone in their hand.
Yeah.
I know people who gave up after the first 2 episodes, and I'm like, okay, you're missing one of the best shows ever made, but that's your thing.
To each
what
their
am
own.
I going to do?
Each their own.
More rewatches for me. Oh, wait. Yeah, that's not how that works.
Oh, I did want to tell you, Bex, for your rewatch, HBO fixed the lighting issue so you can actually see stuff much, much better now.
Oh, okay.
It was really, really dark for a lot of it. So.
I wonder when did they do that? Because
like a week ago, maybe?
Oh, okay.
Awesome. It's fairly recent.
Great. That gives me an excuse to have to rewatch it again. I mean, obviously I have to rewatch it for this podcast, but
you can actually see Ilya's face when he's crying on Shane's chest after he tells him he loves him. Like previously, it was really, really dark, and it was really hard to see a lot of the stuff. And I'm not like being a horn dog or anything like that.
I'm excited to watch again then.
Yeah.
But that's just kind of been a problem of HBO's for a while. For sure. So it's nice that
if you listen with your headphones in, there's a lot of stuff that's said that you can't hear through the speakers.
But subtitles tell you that.
Nope.
No?
Nope. No.
Okay.
During the My Moon, My Man montage and stuff, when he slams Shane up against the wall, and then it cuts really quick to hit them having sex. In there, you can hear Ilya say, if you're wearing earbuds, because this is how cool I am, you guys, I want to please you.
Oh,
and it's like, and I love that montage, not just because it was sexy and stuff, but I loved the contrast of watching Shane and Ilya go up the stairs in Shane's apartment together and laughing and stripping and stuff like that, compared to when Rose is there, and you can see how reluctant Shane is to follow her up the stairs.
Yeah,
like I said, I could talk about this nonstop. Making me stick to 90 minutes is kind of cruel.
I know. And we'll totally do episode by episodes, because I think that would be a ton of fun. So
much.
Just a couple of things I wanted to bring up. Connor's story, I couldn't help it. He looks like an itty bitty baby Patrick Swayze, and I was for it.
Oh, yes.
For 6 episodes. I was just like, oh my God. And then I looked and then I did like a quick Google search. I'm like, obviously I'm not the first one to have noticed this when I see the image searches and it's the side by sides of them. And I'm like, exactly, but these aren't even the best pictures of him, where he does look like a little mini Patrick Swayze. Like I said, everything I know about hockey, I learned from Letterkenny and Shoresy. One of those things is that goalies are fucking weird. So in episode 2, they're talking to the goalie, and I just love how they quickly say, like, no, stop being weird, or you're such a weirdo, or whatever. And I was just like, yeah, because goalies are fucking weird, man. And then that made me think of
goalies.
With the whole, like, cash...
Maybe it was just stretching.
But that's the thing in Shoresy. Goalies are weird, but they're still a team, and they're still very much, like, for each other, even though Shoresy hates his goalie. Side note, but
spoiler.
It's not that big. It's right away. But so what I thought was really funny about that whole part was when I saw that, thinking back to like the men's hockey team and everything, and Kash Patel being in there and like acting like a fucking frat boy. The very first time I even saw that clip of Kash Patel being a fucking dork ass, I was like, goalies are fucking weird. I thought he was the goalie, and I thought he was acting like a fucking weirdo because Shoresy tells me goalies are fucking weird. And it was so much worse.
It's so much worse. He's acting weird because he's a piece of shit weirdo.
So
who had no business being. That's a whole other thing. Nope.
Yep. And yes, Russians don't blush. And I loved when Ilya was like, I don't blush. Russians don't do that. And his accent is just hot as hell. So, yeah.
I also love Cliff. We didn't even talk about Cliff at all. I love that the fandom he's in so many fics, and I love that the fandom has collectively decided that he's just like this kind of dumb golden retriever, non-problematic buddy guy. It's just kind of...
You need one of those.
Yeah, he's just Ilya's buddy, and he's kind of stupid. But I do like him.
All right. You're done, Meg. So we got to keep going. I know. It hurts you so much. But on to the Midwest goodbye, and this is the beginning of the end. We've done the whelp knee slap, and we're at the door, and we're just going to go ahead and box up some tater tot casserole and send to Bex. Send her on her way. First up is the 6 Degrees of Nicolas Cage, and that's where we connect this show to Nicolas Cage in 6 steps or less. Why? Why the fuck not? So, Bex, how'd you do? And, I do think we have. I think we have the same one.
I mean, mine's really easy.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a direct one. I did take a couple steps, so maybe it's different. I don't know. But I did like the Francois Arnaud and Sophie Nélisse. I put them together because they were both in Yellow Jackets with Melanie Linsky, who was in The Last of Us with Pedro Pascal, who was in The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent with Nicolas Cage. Is that what we all did?
Almost. All right, Meg, what'd you do?
I got one person between. Connor Story was in Joker Foi à Deux. I don't know. With Joaquin Phoenix, who is an 8mm with Nicolas Cage.
Oh, very good.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't. So I also went with Francois, who was in Schitt's Creek with Catherine O'Hara, who was in The Last of Us, the last season, with Pedro Pascal and Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent.
Okay, so we were close. We just went a different character.
Yep. So, all right, up next is what's been streaming in your bubble. So other than the pod prep, what else have you guys been up to? Watching, reading? Well, reading the books and whatnot. So Bex, what else have you been consuming?
Well, I have to update you on my One Piece status.
Mhm.
I have made it to episode 1043.
Jesus Christ.
There are 1,161 or 2 episodes out right now, so I'm doing pretty good. I've only got like 120 to catch up.
Jesus, no. Why?
I've been
That's
doing this for
insane.
what, like, it's been like 2 years that I've
8
been
years. No.
doing this. Maybe longer.
I think it's been about that, yeah.
Yeah, maybe 3 even, but yeah, it's been a while. I've been gradually going through because I'll go through like spurts where I'll watch like 20 episodes and then I won't watch it for a few weeks or whatever. So I've been watching that a few episodes at a time. I have also been watching Witch Hat Atelier, which is on Crunchyroll. It's a fantastic manga and they've made it into an anime, so I am really enjoying that. It's beautiful artwork in Witch Hat. I've been watching a lot of shows on the Second Try streamer. Second Try is the streamer that is put out by the Try Guys.
Okay.
And they had this one show that was like Traitors-esque, I'm going to say. But it was called Killer Dinner. It was like a murder mystery dinner party, but it also had like part reality show, part games. And they tell you who the killer is in the first episode. So you're like watching around as they're like basically Among Us, like kicking people out and killing them. But if they play these games and if they lose the game, then the killer gets to kill someone. If they win the game, then they have to banish someone. And on top of the whole murder mystery show of it, once they get banished to a van, which is decorated as a hearse. And then they have like an after show called Ghost Kitchen, where they talk about, like they speculate what's going on inside, even though they have no clue. It is so funny. I have rewatched that show 3 or 4 times already. It's 6 episodes, and then there's like 5 podcast episodes that go with it. They also have a show called Phoning It In, where like chefs use they call into the kitchen where like someone who doesn't know what they're doing has to put the dish together. So they have to verbally instruct someone how to make a dish, but payphone style, so they like every quarter gets them 5 minutes, and then they run out of quarters, and the people are on their own and they have to finalize it, and then they do like a judging, kind of like any cooking show would. I watched The Rooster, which I had to, just as a professor, I had to watch it. It's about as accurate as, shrinking is to being a psychologist. It's not really super accurate, but it was fun. And I'm also watching, or just finished, Margot's Got Money Troubles, which is on Apple as well, with Elle Fanning. The cast is stacked. It's got Elle Fanning, Nick Offerman, Michelle Pfeiffer, Nicole Kidman, Greg Kinnear, somebody else that is escaping me right now, but like it's a pretty stacked cast, and it was cute. I liked it. It was fun to see Nick Offerman as like a retired ex-wrestler heroin addict. Just like after knowing him as from Parks and Rec. So yeah, that's what I've been watching.
Nice. Right on. And Meg?
Next time I'll be done with One Piece by the time we do another episode.
Okay.
Heated Rivalry. No. Yes, that. My oldest daughter has been rewatching Glee, so that's been a adventure that I sometimes have to go on along with her. I have been watching The Other Bennett Sister on BritBox, which is delightful. I'm really enjoying it. I'm annoyed that I had to subscribe to yet another streaming service in order to watch it, but what are you gonna do? Not watch it? Can't do that.
Right? That's not an option.
But I like it. I like that they took Mary Bennett, who is always kind of in other Pride and Prejudice adaptations is always kind of seen as like this wet blanket and kind of a dour, joyless character, and gave her this lovely story and life and stuff. I think that's delightful. It makes me want to get the book and read the book.
It's good.
Because I love all Pride and Prejudice, like so many Pride and Prejudice adaptations and stuff like that. Love it. Pride and Prejudice is my favorite book, as cliche as that sounds, but it's I've read it so many times and it's still a masterpiece. So I like to read all of the like, well, what about after they get married and all this other stuff too, and different kind of retellings. So I want to watch or read that. I'm also rewatching Outlander because it ended, and I love the Outlander books, and I wanted to revisit. It's been so long, so I'm rewatching that. First 6.5 seasons are on Netflix. Otherwise, you have to get Stars for the last season and a half. I got really annoyed when I realized or the library. I don't think the library has it available yet because the finale was last like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. So yeah, they won't have this last season, but
yeah,
everything else.
But yeah, I mean, I've been, like I said earlier, I'm doing the great Rachel Reed of reading the Game Changer series in timeline order, not chronological order, and that's been a really fun, interesting way. I do not recommend doing it if it's the first time you've read the books. But if you're like me and a freak of nature, and we're like, I need to step back from fanfic for a second because I was having trouble keeping fanon and canon straight in my head because I was reading so much fan fiction. And for this recording, I'm like, I need to just lock in and stop thinking that what I'm talking about is from the show and not my fanfic or the books. But yeah, other than that, I'm not I'm scrolling TikTok way too much is what's happening. I only have one social media left pretty much that I spend time on, and that's TikTok. And there's a lot of really good Hunger Games fan edits and Heated Rivalry fan edits. And so many other ones that I'm just like, I have all these bookmarks or folders. But yeah, that's kind of what I'm doing when my husband's not forcing me to work outside in the garden.
He's so mean.
He's so mean. I'm going to tell him you said that, Jen.
Yeah, you tell him.
Because, I don't want to plant stuff or even talk while he plants. I don't want to talk.
What? That's crazy.
Unless it's being recorded.
Right.
Unless it's being recorded and there's a time crunch. And then I want to go on as many tangents as I can.
Yep.
No one has listened to me talk about Heated Rivalry, though, more than that man. So
kudos to Marty.
Kudos to Marty. He's watched it.
Yeah.
But he's like, it lost a little impact when I watched the last 2 episodes over and over again because he'd turn it on and fall asleep, and then I couldn't stop watching until it was done. So it lost a little bit of impact for him watching the beginning. But yeah, he liked it. He thought it was good.
Good. Let's see. Other than pod prep, haven't been watching a whole hell of a lot. Just a lot of like rewatches. I rewatch like the same 8 horror movies because they're comforting. But other than that, I am currently reading The Viral Underclass as recommended by Carla in the It's a Fandom Thing Discord book channel. And is it super good? Yes. Was I mad in the first like 10 minutes of it? Yes. Does it still upset me? Yes. Is it still very, very good? Yes and yes. So, and I'm not even halfway done with it. I'll probably finish it this weekend. But, so yeah, other than that, I also doom scroll TikTok. So yeah, I think I'm going to get back to that. So we're going to go ahead and think that's going to do it for us today. I want to thank you guys so much for joining me. And if you want to go ahead, Bex, and go ahead and say goodbye to everybody, you may do so now. I'm not sure what I'm doing with my hands. No one knows that. So I shouldn't have said anything. Okay.
I love it.
Sorry.
Everyone knew what we were doing with our hands. That one.
All right. So if you want to follow me, I'm really only on one social media as well, and that's Blue Sky. I'm at DRBEXPHD over there. As you mentioned at the beginning, Jen, you can listen to the podcasts that I do. The only one that's currently active is Latinx Visions, but when I say currently active, we do it during the school year, so I'm off for the summer. Big Reputations, podcast I co-host with my friend Kim. You can listen to anywhere you get your podcasts. And what I would really like to shout out is the Coach Beard's Book Club podcast. One of the co-hosts of that podcast, my friend Andrea, passed away at the end of last month.
Oh.
And I'd just like to honor her. Sorry.
No, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Asking people, like, especially if you're a fan of the show Ted Lasso, to just go back and listen to some of our episodes. We haven't recorded new ones in a while, partially because she was sick, but also partially for many of our own personal reasons. But the episodes are still out there and you're still available to listen to it. So in honor of my friend Andrea, please go check out Coach Beard's Book Club. Thanks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, I'm so sorry, Bex. I'm so sorry to hear that.
Well, it's hard to follow that now. No,
Sorry.
no, it's okay. You can find me in my backyard garden, yapping at my husband. Ostensibly, I have a Blue Sky and a Threads account, and it's at Wisconsinach, WISCONSENNACH. I'm on there from time to time. I'm not really as active as I ever was on Twitter and there because social media is just bots now, and it's a hellscape. I would also like, if you're listening to this and you're part of the Heated Rivalry fandom, which of course, why wouldn't you be normal. For the love of God, stop being so weird. That is all. Stop being so parasocial and creepy. It's gross. Stop trying to book tattoos with Hudson Williams' girlfriend because she touched Hudson Williams. That's icky.
My God.
Stop stalking them.
I hate it.
Be normal. It
Please.
used to be really fun, and now it's really creepy. That's my PSA. And if you, Jen, if you want to come help us in the garden,
no, I don't.
I will give you fruits and vegetables. We grew 700 pounds last
If
year.
you're growing like chocolate or chips, then maybe I'd be in. But
If you got
fruits and
like
vegetables?
meat and
No, I'm just
taters,
kidding.
I'm there. But
We have potatoes.
But you ain't got no meats. Anyway,
You don't know that.
fair enough.
I'm growing meat.
Raising piglets.
I got a cow out back.
So, all right. Well, while I contemplate whether or not I'm going to go help Meg with her backyard farm, you can follow My Streaming Bubble on all the socials, but I do spend most of my time doom scrolling TikTok, but I'm on all of them. So go ahead and Google My Streaming Bubble and I should pop on up there for you. And then make sure you do that for Twin It to Win It, the monthly podcast I co-host with Aaron from It's a Fandom Thing, where we try to guess how the other feels about different horror movies. So go ahead and give us a search and follow us on your favorite socials, on your preferred podcast players, and do the things, you know, where you like, share, review, subscribe, smash that like button and all of that good stuff. So again, thank you ladies so much for joining me today, and thank you all so much for listening, and keep streaming. Goodbye.
Bye.
If you're enjoying this podcast, be sure to let me know by rating and reviewing on a podcast player near you, and by sharing your favorite episodes with your friends, family, and mail carrier. Then be sure to follow me on all your favorite socials like Facebook, Instagram, Threads, and Blue Sky. Just search My Streaming Bubble and I should pop on up there for you. If you have suggestions on what I should stream in my bubble next, or you want to be tolerated, send an email to mystreamingbubble@gmail.com. Looking for merch? Stop by my Redbubble store where you can find and buy My Streaming Bubble stickers, hats, shirts, and more. You can also head over to buymeacoffee.com and, well, buy me a coffee. Need more podcast me in your life? Then be sure to check out my other podcast, Twin It to Win It. That's a monthly podcast that I co-host with my podcast brain twin, Aaron from It's a Fandom Thing, where we test our twinningness by trying to guess if we both feel the same way about different horror movies. You can find and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Threads, and Blue Sky. And most importantly, you can listen, rate, review, and share from most podcast players. Thank you for your support and keep streaming. Goodbye.